afternoon or evening, everybody. It's your girls from Obscure Orations. Me, Tay, her Dana. I got it right this week. I know my name. And with us today, our special guest, our friend Jeff. And we're going to be talking all things D&D today. And we're going to, I just put on 2 timers. I don't know how I did that. There we go. Technical difficulties today. Woo! So who wants to start off? You want to start off there, Dana?
Well, let's start off with that. In January, we started a D&D group. What started off as 4 women snowballed into me and Tay, and then we added in Jeff and my husband Norm. You guys know him as IT. My son Brendan and Tay's nephew Ethan. And last night, Anne joined the group. So we're a pretty big group. There's 7 of us. Tay's dungeon master.
Oh.
And we have some incredibly good times.
Well, I should really hope so, considering that we've had 3 sessions so far, so we've done really good, which anyone who plays D&D will tell you is a difficult task to do to get past the first session, let alone get 2 and 3 in. And it's been 1 for each month so far. And they've basically all been like the first 2 were 6 hours, and last night was like a 7-hour session.
It was a good one, man.
Like, the time goes flying by in such a way that, I mean, Jeff almost made me fucking spit water out of my nose twice last night. Bastard.
I was on a roll.
Yes, you were. You were on a very good roll. It was, I would take a sip of water, he'd say something, I was
like, Except, we have to let Jeff know. Ethan was very disappointed.
Yes.
That you did not utter your catchphrase last night.
You have a catchphrase that I'm unaware
You
of.
have a catchphrase.
Apparently so, and I hadn't really noticed that apparently you use it often in our sessions. Mine is just Jesus Christ or for fuck's sakes. Jeff, on the other hand...
Those get said fairly frequently.
Oh, yeah. Or if you're Norm, it's just a disappointed... But no, apparently you say Fez's line from that 70s show.
I'll say good day.
Apparently you say it often. And yesterday you didn't say it once in 7 hours.
Interesting. I was definitely in a different place yesterday. I was definitely in a different place.
Totally could tell.
Yeah. The world is a challenging place right now, and it was kind of fun to be out of it for a little bit, you know?
Yes.
Understand. Yes. For those 7 hours, you're not Jeff, you're Zumlar.
Exactly.
What's your last name? Fun. What's your last name?
Lunarbrook.
Yeah, Lunarbrook.
Yep. Like
yeah.
Zumlar Lunarbrook on the quest to find who murdered his father.
and collect all of the boots.
And collect
all of the boots. All of the boots. I don't even know. I think I was thinking about this morning, like what did start the boots, right? Like what did start it? And I think when we traded that first pair of boots, and you were open to saying they were pink,
purple,
because he wanted or purple, right? Purple, and then it actually worked for the group, and we were able to. And now it's just become kind of a standard that I'm going to take the boots for everybody.
Well, and to the point that Ethan and I were laughing about it today, because he was like, oh yeah, Jeff in his boots. And I said, what's amazing is that everyone now knows it's become the thing. You have multiple pairs in your inventory. You have enough, you could probably start a shop or at least a stand at the side of the road.
I could. I definitely could, yeah.
You have it to the point. Well, I was just saying, like, last night, it's to the point that even Brandon actually took the time to say, I chop him in half, but above where the boots are, but below where the necklace is.
Yes, because he didn't want to ruin the boots. Yes, definitely didn't want to ruin
And he
the
didn't
boots.
want to touch the necklace.
So it was
Right?
it was so perfectly done that I'm like, I could never, like, as a dungeon master, you try to loosely have everything kind of filled out, where you're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna do this, we got this going on, and then you guys throw curveballs in there where you're like, you know what I'm gonna do? We want to go downstairs and steal some stuff.
Right.
Oh, okay, let's go see what you can do, and then you steal everything.
Well, yeah,
Right.
like
And
that. Well, that's when you use the perception, right? I
Mm-hmm.
want to look around. What's in that
Mm-hmm.
box over there?
and
Can I see?
actually, right? And actually it led us on the quest we are now on, right? If we wouldn't have gone, I don't steal the locket, then we don't end up with the cursed locket, we don't end up with the path, right? So
Yep.
um was that a planned thing, or did you kind of no?
I I had no idea at no point in time. So I bought one of the DM screens after our first session because there's ones that you can get, I guess, that are actually for each pre-made campaign
Storyline.
that's out there. Yeah, for each storyline that's out there. So I grabbed the one that's for Dragon Heist. So it's everything Waterdeep, and on it, it has the code of laws, it has the inns, how much each inn costs, the cost of food, and then on the one panel, it actually has a section for pickpockets. So that's why I was having you roll, because it was like, okay, roll a D100. I'll pick on the list here that based on that, you get this.
Okay.
So when you kept going with different things, I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's on a roll. I can't. It's like, yep, you get this. Yep, you get that. Then when it was like, okay, yeah, you got the locket. And then the best part for me was when you rolled, I think it was a 90. And I read on the little screen and it said, the code of law. It's like, I have one right here.
That was
Pass it
awesome.
on.
Yeah, I still have it just in case.
Well, it's good to have because once you started reading all of it, you're like, guys, we could do some hard labor for this.
We could do some hard time. Yeah, we could do some hard time.
We got to get caught first.
And I think even Ethan last night when we were jumping around the pit, right? And he's like, I'm throwing him in the pit, right? And he throws the guy in the pit and he's like, and the boots are up. And the boots are up. Right? Like he was so, you know.
I dump him head first into the pit, legs up.
And his boots are up, you know? And I was even thinking on the way home yesterday, I'm like, listen, Mike, my character doesn't want to kill people. I don't know. Like, I think I was the only one that was like, all right, I just want her to be unconscious so we can
I'm
take
positive
her.
you're the only one.
I am fairly certain. Like everybody else is like, I'm cutting them in half. I'm smashing them in the face with a mace, and right, fireball. Right,
I was just gonna say,
fireball.
yeah, she's over there like, I just want to light him on fire.
Oh, where'd my fireball
You know?
go?
Oh my
And
God.
I have probably wanted to play this game for 40 years. I'm not going to lie. I
Yeah.
probably, I think when I was starting in university, I was carpooling with a guy who played, and I went and joined them, but they were pretty far down the path in their campaign, and they kind of let me come in for a couple of weeks, and just timing never lined up. Like you say, it's hard to get a
Yeah.
group and get the timing to line up, and the timing never really kind of lined up for me. And then marriage and kids and all the fun stuff that occurs in between. And when Dana mentioned it that night playing cards, I was so excited. I was super excited to be in it. But the only kind of character I've ever wanted to play ever is a thief or a rogue. Ever. I've never wanted to be the warrior, the paladin, the ranger. I've Magic has no interest to me. The picking of locks and the finding of traps, and Ethan was more into the picking the pockets than I was that first night. He was way more into it than.
Which, let me just point out for anyone watching this, my nephew is a fighter class. He's not a thief. He's not a rogue. He's not any variety of this. And yet he's like, let's steal from them.
He's all in, right?
Oh, yeah.
And and then Anne with her My double skimmies, is that what you...
Yeah, my double skimmies.
Yeah, my double skimmies, as I fanned the guy because I rolled so bad.
And I think it's interesting. I would be interested. You were mentioning that you were going to tape our next session, and I'm like, oh, that could be interesting. Right? That could be very interesting.
No. Not tape it. Stream it live.
Stream it live.
Oh, sorry.
Stream it live.
Sorry for the more modern take. We stream it live. We don't tape it. That makes us sound old.
Let me get out the microfilm.
Let me just slice together. Hold on. Snip, snip. Glue.
I'll put it in my 8-track.
All I can think is that Ethan would get none of this.
None of this. Yeah.
He legit last night when he told me that you hadn't said your line. I said good day. I was laughing. I'm like, do you even know that he's referencing?
Know where it's from?
Nope. He was like, oh, he's referencing something. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Oh man, you could have had Ethan believing that Jeff coined that phrase. And
1,000,000%.
That 90s show stole it from him.
Like, I laughed pretty hard when we were driving home because he was like, what?
I've noticed that, Taylor, yours and my references are very much in alignment. Like, I see your faces when I drop certain references, and I know you're getting them. And I looked over at Ethan a couple times, and I'm like, he has no idea what I'm talking about right now. She gone.
But he is so proud of himself last night because he's like, I think I did better last night. He's like, so I drove him home because, again, for anyone who's listening and watching this, I picked the kid up. He's only 17. He's got his driver's license, but he doesn't have a car, and he's my nephew, so I'll pick him up, whatever. So driving there, we were talking about stuff randomly, and then driving back, we were talking about the night, and he was all animated talking. Also, Jeff, just so you know, he literally, the moment we got into the car, he ripped into that bag of chips.
That's awesome.
He ate it the entire car ride. He's like, I'm like, it's okay, bud, I'm good. Had a couple while we're driving. We were talking about the entire night. And he is so animated. Like, even though there's times where it's hard to tell if he's having a good time or not because he's focusing on it, he's like, when you get done it and you're driving home with him and driving him to bring him back home, he is the entire time just talking about all. He's like, oh my God. And then when we did this, oh my God, that was so good. And then when Jeff came up and did this to that guy, he's like, oh, that was so good. And then when we went and did this, like, he is fully animated for all of it. And last night he was so proud of himself because he's like, I got more of the references that Jeff and you made tonight. And I made a couple, and I got the Indiana Jones one. You guys look so proud of me.
Exactly.
I was like, we were.
I'm going to be honest. I am worried a couple times. Like I said, I was on a roll last night, right? And I think sometimes I can have a big personality, and I think I'm worried sometimes I'm driving the pace of the game, right? Mm-hmm. For the other players, right? Whether I am or I'm not or whatever, I felt it again last night. I felt it every time we've played. That I felt like I'm too much.
I don't think you are. I don't think you are. I think what happens is you get focused on the path that we're on, and then you start going down it. But what I noticed last night, more so, Anne and Ethan kind of pulled you in by saying, but wait, before we go here, let's just, do this. Mm-hmm. So, to me, honestly, you could lead the game. You could lead us straight into hell, and we'd probably all follow you, as long as you got some boots on the way.
Look at these, they're flamey.
Just I want you guys, if you think I am being too much, like to pull it back in, right? Like I'm open. I want, like, even when we were meta in the game, and there's obviously a point where we could have only sent 2 people up, which would have been actually disastrous had we done so.
Oh
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Yeah, it would have
Just
been
see their heads
disastrous had we
rolling
done
down.
so. Right? I don't want to be like, okay, we're gonna go down this path and it's only me and Dana going down, or it's only me and Norm going down kind of conversation where we're
Yeah.
leaving everybody else just sitting around a campfire waiting for stuff to happen, right? Like, I want everybody to be involved, and I want everybody to have that very positive experience when it's over, right?
And that's why,
Yeah.
like, to me, so for me, obviously, like, I wanted Dana to answer from the player standpoint, but for me, from the dungeon master standpoint, you hit, like, even I said it last night, you hit the nail on the head when you were like, okay, I think it'll be kind of boring though if we only send 2 people up, which is 100% true. Like, it would have been different, like, had you guys phrased it as, hey, we're going to send these 2 up ahead of us so that they can get a lay of the land to, like, scout ahead, versus saying, okay, like what you guys were initially planning of, hey, just send these 2, we'll see what happens, which is true. I mean, you could have done it that way. Totally up to it. Like, that's the thing with D&D, is that it's free range. You can go do however you want to do it. But I'm fully with Jeff on that, where it could be boring because it would be focused on them.
But think about it. Who was the one that suggested only 2 people go up? Come on.
Was it Norm?
It was Norm.
That's what I thought. I was like, my back was turned. I was letting you guys decide.
Now, if we break it down, Jeff, we've been friends for a lot of years. Norm is very analytical.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably because of his job.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
His profession. So for him, he's weighing the options. Like, I see the cogs turning. Like, I know you guys don't, but I see it because I live with him, right? The man like analyzes TV commercials.
I was going to say, I've noticed it in the past because now we've had, I mean, again, we have long extended plays. Like, normally plays are only like 3 to 4 hours. You don't really make a lot of progress. But because we have such extended plays, I'm getting to kind of see like what the playing style is of each of you, where if you were by yourselves, you would all be fucked. Like,
oh yeah,
right,
oh yeah,
right,
and
yeah.
Norm's going to look at it, and he's going to have the let's play it safe perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Jeff, when you look at it, you're like, buddy, there's 7 of us at the table. 5 of us are going to be bored. And
exactly.
You know what? I was glad that you jumped in with that, because that to me, that kind of made Norm pull back a little with his the analytics on how to play the game. Brendan, I think he's not a big talker like Ethan, but when he does come up with something, it's right. And
he's like a smolderer. He smolders on things, and then all of a sudden, suddenly you just see this gigantic spark come up when he's like, so I'm going to do this. Like, oh, you've just been hiding that over there. Oh, okay. I see you, BC.
I've been watching you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, I think we have a very diverse 7 of us that we all work well together.
Ian's going to get us killed, just so you're aware.
What?
Ian's going to get us killed, for sure.
And?
Oh, yeah, because she's just all in. Like, she's just all in. I'll just take that necklace. Maybe it'll help.
You don't know how happy it made me when I'm just sitting there listening to her and all her different ways of, well, if we use a cloth, we're not really doing it. And Jeff's
or
just
a stick. Yeah. We use a stick.
Jeff's just literally sitting there. He's looking between me and looking at her, looking between me and going, do you not see what the DM looks like? Do you not see the glee on her face right now?
She was probably saying, Zumlar's already cursed. What's one more necklace?
100% it. He's like, what's just one more necklace. Like, yeah, but you will have Zumlar, guaranteed Zumlar would never touch it. He's like, this burns. This hurts. I'm
So
not touching another one.
it's going to be a while before you get rid of that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. And I actually think it played into having Anne join the group, right? With she's sus and
That
right.
was fantastic. I'm gonna stay over here at the bar with Rainier. I'm just gonna eyeball
like
her.
this guy. You know?
Yeah, even after she like saved a couple people with her devil skimmies.
Oh my god. When she started plugging her ears so that you guys could talk. I almost pissed myself laughing, no word of a lie. Because it was just so freaking hilarious.
And see, that's why you shouldn't play D&D high.
And I think Taylor, you get such a different perspective of the game. One, because you're kind of guiding the flow, but you actually get to see all of us. Like when I'm at the table last night, I only really saw Ethan, and I really I would have to physically turn my head or to see the rest of the table, whereas you can see everybody's reactions and everybody's faces.
Oh yeah. That's part of for me, that's part of the fun is watching you guys, or when you guys get your aha moments, like Dana's is always so obvious when all of a sudden her eyes are and you see it and she's like, oh, you light up when you're like, I think I have an idea. I think I have an idea. I think I know what we should do here. Or when for Anne, because this was her first true session, she was part of it last session, but every time that she kept on leaning over to you and slapping you, going, hey, did you remember this?
Check his pockets.
What about this? Did you look for his boots? Okay. Did you ask the questions? Maybe you should ask that one some questions. Each one of you brings something different to the table where you have different strengths that all play so well together because it's such a good mix. And what I love about it is that when you look at the age range, the youngest person at our table is my nephew at 17. And then it goes up to, who's the oldest one? Anne?
Norm.
Is it Norm? Okay.
He'll be 59 in May.
Jesus. So we go all the way up to 59. So from 17 to
Jesus
59.
did play a part last night.
He did a lot.
He was there a lot last night.
Kept on coming by. What do you want now? God, you keep saying my name. Jesus, stop letting them roll so good. Stop making me go bad.
Now, on sidebar on Jesus, does it bother Ethan that we Jesus Christ or anything like that?
I hope not, because I don't think I could stop it.
I was just going to say.
I'm only asking because for those of you out there that don't know, we have dinner before we play. I'll cook something or we order pizza or whatever. We're kind of doing themes. So last night we did a taco bar,
which was delicious for anyone who wants to know.
Apparently Ethan complimented my meat. But no, I'm saying when I saw him sit at the table, he prayed before dinner.
Yep, he prays every day, for every meal.
So then I was like, ooh, maybe we should curb back on swearing. And I'm thinking, oh my God, look at the group I'm with. How's that even going to be possible?
No, his mom, trust me, we swear probably about 1/4 the amount that she does and curse and cuss. So no, that's definitely not a problem with that kid. He is more than used to it and hearing far worse, more foul language than that. So
all right, perfect.
We're definitely good with that. That's not an issue. But so I think one of my favorite parts last night, and I talked to him about it earlier, was between Jeff and Ethan and their new girlfriends in the campaign. Oh my God. When I enlarged Vajra, and all he did was, whoa. And then got a little bit rosy in his cheeks.
That's my girl. Hey.
Yeah. And then when he's like, well, you just made her grow so much. It's like, oh, yeah, that's what you suddenly... He's like, so you like her, huh? Oh, my lady?
Every good story's got to have a little hint of romance, right?
No. Well, the best was when I'm reading her little bit of history for you guys, because you did well on the history check. And then reading it, it's like, oh, yeah, she had a lover. Oh, but he was murdered. Yes! Jeff on the side. You have a shot.
So you're saying there's a chance?
He was so happy. He's like, yeah. All of a sudden, I was back in the running. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Then to have Jeff be like, okay, so time to go see my my red skin tiefling girl. Yeah, let's go back to that shop. Let's go back over there.
Yeah, it was. It's going to be interesting, interesting side quest, I think.
Are we all gonna have to sit there while Jeff has coffee with his date?
I'll make it a double date, so that way I just have to do it once. Jeff on one side, Ethan on the other. I'll just be a split personality.
The rest of us can sit at the bar and drink.
Yeah, well, you're all sitting there going, $5 says they blow it. Someone's gonna cause a fight in here. It's gonna be Jeff trying to get boots.
Yeah, so
So do you think?
Go ahead.
Do you think I am driving the pace over the campaign, or no?
Who are you asking?
Whoever. I don't. You're both in the room. You can. You know.
So I was going to say, I'll let you answer from a player perspective.
From a player perspective, and don't choke.
It went right back without.
I'm too far away to help you.
Same. I don't think you're driving the game or the pace, but I think you have sort of taken on the leader role.
That was exactly what I was going to say.
But not in a bad way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Like every
like I said,
group, every group has to have somebody that's going to be the one that says, "We're doing it this way," you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, it's hard when you have, excuse me, when you don't have someone who's in the leader position per se. Like you all share in the decision making. There's no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to like refocusing the group and being like, hey, are we going this way? Like, so from a DM perspective, when I'm listening to all of you do the conversation, you're like, okay, we're going to do this, no, this, no, this, no, this, so this is like, I just need to know where you're going so I can direct said flow of the story. So it's good to have someone like Jeff who's like, okay, class, refocus class.
Well, somebody's got to keep Anne grounded.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean,
or else she'd be taking on her double skimmies and just having at it.
Waving at everybody.
I was going to say, yeah, but not hitting anything. Just waving them about and fanning.
She goes into the market.
Look how cool I am.
For as good as my dice were on that first night, they were awful last night. My dice were atrocious last night. I switched back and forth multiple times. They were just atrocious.
I had a bunch of different sets out last night, and obviously you both know I was ready to like do some damage with these rolls, and I kept rolling. I'm like 4s and 2s. The fuck am I going to do with this? Nope, they hit nothing again.
I rolled great.
Yeah, I want those dice back.
You did.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. You handed that curse right over to Anne, and then I think she shared a little bit of the curse with me because my dice were atrocious.
Well, you with your new ones, the bouncy ones, when you're practice rolling them, and you're like, Oh, nope.
Put those away.
Right back in the bin. Right back
Those
in
are
the
just
bin.
pretty to look at, apparently. They're not for playing. Grounded.
So like I said, Taylor, before Jeff joined us, new dice, who dis?
Yes.
Who does it?
That is going to be the name of today's episode, and I'm going to write it down right now because I forgot to earlier, and I forgot what it was. New dice.
Even
who
Brendan,
dis.
even Brendan, who doesn't like change his dice that often, was last night he had 3 sets out. I saw he had 3 sets out, and he kind of like changed one.
I saw even Ethan did it at one point in time where he's like, "No, that's it for
Oh,
you."
yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So it
And
made me
did it?
snicker.
I
Just-
did.
It's just like,
I had sets out. Like I had my Lord of the Rings sets out, and I think my orangish red, they'll like fire, swirly fire,
Mm.
that set out, and then the ones that you gave me for my birthday. But I was like, I thought I rolled pretty good with those birthday dice, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm staying here, man.
Yeah, like I said,
no,
I want
for
those
sure.
back.
No.
Not for you. I gave you my good juju. Too much. Give it back. Give it back. Give it back.
We'll have to see how good I do when my new dice come in.
Oh, because we can't have too many dice sets. How many
I'm
sets do you
addicted
have?
to
Look.
5 million.
dice.
Hey, look, and Anne had a bag
I saw that.
as big as a popcorn bag full of dice.
Well, that's because she asked me to get her some dice. So I went off of my favorite dice getting website, Temu, and I got her 12 sets of dice for $11.
Damn.
Oh,
Suddenly,
And
that's
it
all I
came
want.
with a big bag, so
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Dump them all out.
hey man, whatever works, right?
I have to agree.
absolutely.
So we talked about it a little bit last night when we were having tacos. And Jeff, you said that you're going to actually be starting to watch some of the Critical Role
Fine.
stuff. So, and Dana, have you watched some of it or no?
Mhm. Yep.
So, I mean,
My only question on it, are they on a campaign similar to our Waterdeep campaign
No.
when they're going on it? Or are these created by the DM himself?
so his is a completely different world. Like it's still D&D based, like it's all based off of D&D and all that, but it's a solely his own made up realm, his own continents, cities, history, all of it is all his own stuff. So you can have it now because Matthew Mercer, one of the greatest voice actors of all time, in my opinion, because he's everywhere. He's actually worked with Wizards of the Coast and D&D, the one that owns D&D, and has made things like he's the one who made the Blood Hunter class and the Artificer, I believe it was. So the Artificers one is the one that actually is a gunslinger, like they go around, they have bullets and can shoot things. And then the Blood Hunter, I don't fully know how to use that. I have a Blood Hunter character that I haven't gotten to play with yet, but that was one of his other ones. Like you actually get to basically use blood magic in the realms. So it can be tied into it. Like if you do it how my DM Alicia, one of my best friends, she's done the same kind of thing. Like she's made her entire own world. Like she's actually made a planet that has all its own continents on it. She has her own governments, her own history, her own families, laws, all of it. And she's actually made it like the way that it happened is that it used to be connected to Faerun and the rest of them, but the bridge that connected them ended up being smashed away, so they're no longer connected anymore. So when you look at it as something like that, you could kind of think of Taldore, which is what Mercer created, as somewhere other than being part of Faerun per se. So he gets to have all of his own kind of freedoms with it. and then they've just built on
Right.
it from there.
Gotcha.
You ever figure out what your dragon's bane is, Jeff?
I did a little research on it today, just if I ever were to happen to stab a dragon with it. So I think I'm good for a bit.
That's it,
It,
Dragonflies in next session.
Oh, so
Right,
you
so-
won't be playing with the dragon's bane for a while.
Likely, I'm going to probably leave that back at the troll skull. I don't think I'll be encountering dragons in the near future.
I would
But
think it would be probably. So if it's good against dragons, I would probably say there's an argument to be made that it's probably good against dragonborns too.
Right.
So I think there'd be a little loophole for it. But that being said, it's probably. Ethan made a good point last night because we were talking about your dragon's bane. And I was like, I have no freaking clue where the hell it came from. And I was like, Jeff doesn't have any clue where it came from. It's just suddenly there. And he's like, but didn't he like either buy it off of his girlfriend's shop there or get it off of
No, that was just
the
the
dead
sheath,
guy?
though. That was
I
just
thought he
the sheath.
light fingered Louis it. Didn't you steal it?
Well, he got a sheath that was dragon skin.
Yes.
So that's what I'm wondering if that's maybe what it put in, like it was thinking that's what it was.
Oh, maybe.
So, I mean, I could probably work that into a story and be like, oh yeah, there's poof.
Yeah, like I think it said a weapon or item. Oh, it just went away. Of course it did.
It's always the way.
Not
This is the way.
today.
Not today, Satan. It's always such a
It
pain in
looks
the
like
ass.
kind of like a pole arm, which I probably shouldn't even be carrying because it's probably way too big for my character, right? And
I don't know,
it's a
because you.
level. Yeah. It says Dragon's Bane is a 4-star pole arm. It's part of the Kun Wu series and a 4-star Bane series. It's basically like that halberd, basically.
Okay, yep.
Right. And then it's got some magic that if you use it against a fire dragon or an ice dragon or whatever, you're gonna change how their magic affects you, kind of thing.
Yeah, I was just saying, handy later on. Is currently at your
but it's
level
not
2.
something my character should even be carrying around, right? It's not kind of his thing.
I don't know, just because I was looking at it yesterday, and you actually, I'm surprised you don't use your. I mean, daggers make sense because you're because of you being a rogue.
Human.
No, he's an elf.
Oh, that's right. You're an elf like me.
Remember? You both, you're elves.
Cedric's a human.
Just not
isn't he?
snobby.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say he's not a high elf. But I noticed yesterday that I think, if I remember right, you have mastery in your quarterstaff, so you can actually do
Yes.
extra damage in it. So I was noticing that. I'm like, oh. And I meant to say it last night, but then there were a bunch of other things that we were like, okay, but what about this? Oh yeah, and this, and oh yeah, and that too.
Yeah, there was a lot going on for sure, right? And then when we're having trouble with certain guys, then yes, those extra things are fun or necessary to keep us alive, those kind of things. But for me, it's the problem solving, right? That's the enjoyment I am getting from it, right? And then or what secret, like what does this girl have on her, right? Like she's wearing the city guard's uniform, and she's got 10 gold pieces, and she's wearing fine leather boots, but does she have a key for someplace? Or that, right? Like when I'm doing those perception checks, that's what I'm hoping to find. Just sharing a little in the meta world, right? Like that's what I'm hoping to find, right? So the locket turned out to be that, even though it turned out in kind of a negative connotation for the
And
group.
you're like, oh, look at this locket. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Bad law. Now, if if hindsight
Right,
was
but
2020, would you go back and just not touch the locket at all?
I don't think I had a choice because I rolled the dice and she said, "Oh, you got a locket and it looks like
Yep.
this and it's got initials on it." And right, like as a thief, I would have naturally gone for the shiny gold piece around her
Mhm.
neck, right? Like it would
Yeah.
have been what would have attracted my character with or without magic on it. It would have been something that
Mundungus.
would have attracted my
Mundungus
character.
from Harry Potter.
Yes.
And I the other thing that I think that I'm having fun with, right, is I don't care about money. Like I think at some point the money is going
Really? We hadn't
to
noticed.
With
I
all the
think
Easy for
boot
you.
stealing.
right. But I think that, and at some point it's going to come in handy. We're going to need it as a
Mhm.
group, and we have a bunch of people that aren't spending money in the group, but right,
True.
Ooh.
I don't. You've spent money, and
Mhm.
I've spent money. I think everybody else has been pretty
I would say, I don't think, I'm
pretty
trying to
lean.
remember. Yeah, because I was going to say, I don't think BC spent anything. I think maybe Ethan has.
When we flipped all the silver into weapons,
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that was it just
we did as a
because,
group.
yeah.
That was more
Yeah,
of a
and
group spend.
we bought health potions before
Yeah.
we divvied up that one
Yep.
pile of gold.
So we okay. So we have group spenders for sure. Like people that want the group to be better,
Mhm.
Right.
right? That they want the best of the group. I think that of all the players in the group, there's nobody
Mhm.
that's trying to be a little more or a little greedier. I don't
Yes.
see any of that, but I don't see people going, I'd like to buy like better armor
Mhm.
or right or that kind of thing. And I knew that those scrolls were going to be handy, Dana, and I don't care about the money, so I'm like, I'll give Dana 25 gold towards the scrolls rather than right, because at some point
Yeah.
I'm not going to be wearing full plate metal armor. That's just not what my
Yep.
character is going to do. And right, and I have a silver short sword, but it's not like I'm, and maybe at some point down the line I get a silver short sword +2, right,
Yep.
kind of thing. But my weapons are probably what I have,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not.
Well,
I
it makes
don't know
sense
what my
for.
character.
Well, I was going to say, it makes sense for what your character is. You're a rogue and you're an elf. So, like, I know in your backstory, one of the big things that I remember reading was that, like, nature and the forest, like, that's an important, intricate thing or integral thing to your character. So it would make sense that he doesn't really have, like, super high value on monetary
Materialistic things.
things. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's more like he's sitting there going, okay, yeah, I want to. He basically like wants to steal for fun, but also try
Yes.
and
100%.
also try and like make things better in certain areas where it's like, okay, well, yeah, like I like this. They're my friends. I'll buy them something pretty over here. Here's a nice invisibility scroll for you. Figure you could handle one of these.
Yeah, those kind of things for sure, right?
Hmm.
Or round of drinks at the bar
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's the perfect way to get loose lips flapping when you're like, okay, well, oh, yeah, he spends a lot of money. I mean, it can easily get you things that will get you information later on in campaigns where it's like, okay, like I had said to Dana and Ethan yesterday, where I had said that it's like, yeah, I could see this group of us playing D&D for years to come, years and years to come. Now, mind you, my wonderful nephew was confused when I said the sentence, and he was like, "This one campaign?" Like, no, sweet summer child, no.
Sweet summertime.
That's why I was so happy when you made that reference last time. Like, oh, it's not just me and Dana; he gets it. But when I had said it to him, it's like, I have the kind of theory in mind that, like, this isn't going to blow any sort of story building or anything in that. But in the tavern, Rain's going to take you guys up to the highest level at some point in time and say, hey, by the way, stay out of this room. It's an unstable sort of portal is in there. When it's not in use, it's unstable, don't touch it. But when it's being used, then it can take you to different areas, different quest lines, so that when we have things like going to the other campaign book that I purchased is Icewind Dale. So that's a completely different area. Like, that's nowhere near Waterdeep. You're going to a completely different part of the world. It's frigid there. So it's going to be one of those things of, hey, we can use this portal. If we want to do something like, oh, because I made the reference to it, I'll use this as an example. If there's anything out there for Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, and we want to do a one-shot or something, and you want to bring your current characters into that world, then we have like a portal point to say, hey, you hop in there, you can go to whatever place you want to go to, and it's kind of like a story focal point of saying, yes, this is where we have it, and we can reach out to anything and everything. So that way then we have options for however many years we want to stay playing this. Because I mean, I look at something like Critical Role, where they play 3 Thursdays out of the month, because they always take the third Thursday off out of the month. And they play for their 3 to 4 hour sessions. And they've been doing that for 3 complete campaigns now, a bunch of one-shots or short-run campaigns that they've done over the years. So they've been doing this for, I think, a decade or over that now. And that, to me, I'm like, okay, they do that basically weekly. I think we can handle once a month and being able to keep that up for a decade.
Right. And I think that I really lost my train of thought. So whatever I thought, it's gone.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yep, I was going to say that happens to us so often.
Yeah.
You're like, there was a
It was
thought,
a good
and now
just
it's
so you're
gone.
aware, it was a good thought. It was a very good thought.
It was a really well thought out thought, just in case anyone was wondering. Really deep, really deep.
It was a good thought when I was thinking about it.
Yes. It's kind of like when you have a plan in D&D and you're like, I had a plan, just in case you're all wondering.
And
then I rolled the dice. I got these boots, and then I didn't know what I was doing with them.
Exactly. That's going to bother me now, just so you're aware.
Yep, I completely understand that too.
I expect a message around 8:30, 9. You'll remember.
I remember what it was.
It was good.
I told you it was good. It was world altering. Now, so
that's what it is. I got it. You actually made my night last night, in all honesty, Taylor, when I walked into that bar and the bartender remembered me because I had tipped so well at the previous time.
Yes.
Right. And you told me his name, and I'm like, I don't even have his name. So I made a note. So now I have his name, right? So I'll know the bartenders. Like, I have a list of the bartenders that I've tipped and in which saloons.
Well, and that's the fun part, like, for me, because so previous to this encounter, this campaign, I've only ever played as a player. I've never been on the DM side of it, because it was always a daunting task to me. Like, I always looked at it like, oh shit, that seems scary to be on that side of the table. Like, I don't think I could do that. I don't know. So to be on that side of it now, like, I was shitting bricks that first session that we did. I'm like, okay, let's do this. Let's see how this goes. I have no clue.
Neither did we, which actually made it right. Like, you were really the only one at the table that really. I had played 2 sessions, and it sounded like Norm had played a couple of sessions in college, or played with a bunch of buddies for a bit or something, right? Like, I didn't get Norm's history there, but I got a sense that he's played prior.
Yeah, him and I think Gary, Chuck, Bill, and Joel. I think the 5 of them had a session going. Okay.
Excuse me. Well, I think
But really, we were all very, 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 very raw.
well,
Yeah.
and that was the kind of nice thing with it was that it was like a virginal starting for all of us. We were kind of like, okay, I had the understanding from a simplistic player point because the nice thing is when you're a player, your main focus is you want to learn how your character reacts. Like you get to just focus on your one character and
Right.
developing it that way. Whereas the daunting thing to me was always the thought of like, okay, I have to understand how all of you guys work. What can your players do? And then after playing the first session, it was just kind of like, you know what? It's not important that I know what all of your characters can do. I can look at your player sheets and be like, oh, okay, like we'll use Ethan as the example and his fucking graze ability and taking the sheet from him last night. I was like, give me that. Like, there's no way you can do this. Son of a bitch, there's no time limit on this. So this is literally just whenever he wants. So no matter what, you can always do 4 points of damage. Even if you miss, you're just like, haha, still got you. Paper cut, bitch, paper cut.
And how is that? Like, why?
Probably, I'm assuming it's from his, because he took fighter for his class.
Ah, okay.
So each one, because that's what I was talking to him about last night, because he's like, I'm trying to learn how to actually use all of my abilities. And because he was talking about what I talked to you guys about near the end of the session, when I had said that, yeah, if you hit a certain point, then yes, your character's dead. But to me, that's kind of boring per se. Like if you
Mhm.
suddenly come to me, like if Jeff came up to me and was like, hey, listen, I want to either off Zumlar or put him in a coma or something. I've got this really cool other character that I really want to bring in. Would you be willing to do that? And it's like, okay, you want to do that? Then we're going to go into some ridiculously overpowered fight and we can make it Zumlar's death either epic or put him into a state where it's like, you know what, he's going to take a while to recover from that. Like it's going to take some time and you can go ahead, bring in this super awesome other character and you can get a feel for that one and see how you feel about that one. So to me, it's all about I want you guys to have fun with your characters and learn how to use them because there's so many things like for Jeff's character for having the Nick ability, where if he's using his daggers, he can do
Mhm.
extra damage and then he can add a sneak attack on that where he gets even more damage on top of it. And like I said, for Anne, because she's a
Yes.
paladin, she's going to get extra attacks as she gets higher levels. Like at one point in time, I can't remember what level it was, but I remember looking into it because of Wowu, my paladin. There was going to be a point in time where I could do 6 separate attacks in one round. So
Damn.
when I learned about that, I'm like, holy shit. And even when I started learning how to use, because my current character, when Alicia gets settled with stuff when we start playing again, is a fighter class, just like what Ethan has, but he's an elf instead. He's Hexalily's brother, and he's a fighter where like the amount of damage he can do if he hits, that's the big part. If he hits, he can do a shit ton of damage because he has the multiple attacks where it's like, okay, dual wielding, he can add his proficiency to both, and then he can just like Anne's trying to do with her skimmies, except he doesn't just fan them all the time.
Those skimmies, oh my god.
And
That was just
see, and finding my character, right? Like finding, right? Like when I was fighting the city guard girl there,
mhm,
and I'm like, I don't want to kill her, right? Like that's right. And I knew, right, if I roll good here, I know we've done some damage to her. If
mhm,
I roll good here, she's in a lot of trouble, right?
yep.
Like she's going to be dead, and we're going to get no information, and we're gonna, right? Ethan wanted to intimidate the dead guy, and he just wants to
Yeah,
intimidate everybody all the time, right? Like he
he's so
just,
good at it.
you know, and I am I am already feeling really attached to this character, and it's going to
Mhm.
be right. devastating, I think, when right, like your favorite, your best friend kind of thing. That if
Yes.
he were to, right, like it would be hard. So in the critical role, I'm seeing a lot of it, right? You can ruin a TikTok in a hurry, right? You start getting,
Oh
you go down a
yeah.
rabbit hole, and all of a sudden you're getting that for 6 straight weeks.
Yep.
And so I've got a lot of critical role coming up, and they're like physically crying on these,
They. Oh.
and legitimately crying, like
Mhm.
Yeah.
not like they're not fake crying, like there's legit tears coming down, or
Oh yeah.
legit excitement and jumping up and down, and
Mhm.
right, like they're pot
It's.
committed, right?
And
It's.
I think we'll get there. I think I think our group is so well entwined that we're going to
Mhm.
get to that level.
I have to agree because I can easily see, like I said, because I see it being a long-term thing. I can easily see it being something where it's you get so attached to the characters because it becomes an extension of you. It's like having a child where
Right.
you're like, okay, I took them from the little squishy level one that they were that a bat could kill or stab yourself,
Hey,
all the way up to
She was in a lot of
basically,
trouble. She was in a lot of trouble. We had to like multiple potions and some
once we
cleric
got her,
work and
yeah, once we got some
some
of that
holy
armor,
water.
yeah, stay alive,
let the
goddamn.
record show nobody used any potions on me last night.
I am very
Very
proud of
good,
you for
yeah.
that fact.
I
But
did use mine on myself, but
Did anybody? No, nobody died, did they?
Cyrus did Ethan.
no.
Yeah, he
Oh, you're
went
right.
down,
He
remember?
did.
Because he forgot about that was the one thing. So it made me laugh because Jeff and I talked about it after last session where you had said that you had gotten legitimately mad when you got punched in the gut by the Draugr bandit guy when you went to go
Yeah.
help hold the
No,
door.
I'm still mad. I'm still mad. I was trying to be nice to the guy. He's got a problem. I'm trying to help him hold the door, and all of a sudden he's taking swipes at me. I was pissed.
It's in your Canadian blood. You were trying to
I'm
be nice and somebody rejected the niceness.
You're like, what the fuck? But what made me laugh was that so that was you last session. Then this session, it was afterwards, once Cyrus went down, and after he realized because it was you and Brandon who pointed out the fact that you're both like, hey, did you roll an advantage for that one? Because you have the murder sandwich.
Oh,
And by
yes.
that point in time, he had done his roll, I had done mine. We were moving on to BC's. And he was like, oh, and then
I
he ended up
forgot the
dead.
sandwich.
So
The
then
sandwich, the ham
when I was
sandwich, yeah.
taking him home last night, he was like, oh, I'm so mad about that. I can't believe I'm like, to be fair, we both forgot about it. I'm like, it comes from practice because trust me, there's been numerous times when I've been playing as a player and I roll, I'm like, oh shit, I missed. And then we get like 2 rolls later on, and then all of a sudden I'm like, fuck, I didn't roll at advantage. And they're like, ah,
Right.
sucker.
And that's us learning that too, right? Right. The early stages, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, and I think as time goes on, the sessions get better. I think
Mm-hmm.
we're all going to become more articulate, and we're going to have a better grasp on things that we can do and what we should
Yes.
know and how to go about doing it. Nobody's going to be stabbing themselves and dying, so that's something to look forward to.
Or even the questions to ask, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Getting better at understanding what information are we trying to, because as the DM, right, the NPCs are there to give us the information, but they're
Mm-hmm.
not just going to give it to us. We have to
Right.
Well,
We have to
like
work for
articulate.
it.
the perfect example that I have for anyone who plays D&D is to say when you walked into the shop and Dana's character is charisma based. She is a sorcerer. That's what everything is based off of. She has failed every single charisma check, whether it be persuasion, intimidation, performance. It has not mattered. She has flubbed on it, which is just hilarious when you're watching. And then you have someone else come up who does it, and they're like, okay, they're all right. And then to have a player who comes up, and in this case it was Jeff, when he came up and said, hey, you didn't specify the color of the boots that I took off of that guy. And it was that instant sitting there going, oh shit. You know what? You're right, I didn't. So could we say that they're purple?
Sure.
Yeah, we fucking can. And it was literally in the notes, it says either you pass a difficulty challenge, I think of 15 for intimidation or persuasion, a bribe of, I think it was like 20 gold, or offer him something purple. So when you came back with that, I was like, you smart son of a bitch. Son of a bitch, I'm in.
But you still want us to
That's-
go down the path, right? You
Yep.
still need us to go down the path, right? Like if we keep fucking up, like eventually you got to find some way to get us the information.
And
Right.
that's the balancing thing that I'm finding with being a DM, where as a player, you're just like, oh shit, we fucked up. As a DM, you're like, shit, they fucked up. Now I have to figure out how to somehow feed this information to them. Where you're like, okay. Little Timmy comes running out of a well at you, saying, sir, I have some information.
Little Timmy is our favorite person to talk about on our podcast.
I was gonna say, everyone's going to be like,
So
do you know a Timmy? No, not anymore. He fell
So I
down a
think the
well.
good part for you, I think the good part for you is I'm going to have spent so much money on bartenders around town. Somebody is going to come running up to us that is a bartender or
An agent of a bartender. Like, that's the nice thing, is that you guys are giving me so much to work with, which is why I had said that I kind of wanted those sheets. Like, not even if you guys even if you guys don't fill out every single detail on the sheet, just to give me some basic information about your characters, so that way I can be like, okay, I can build on this. Zumlar and his father's death, that key that he holds on to and he keeps on trying into everything. You coming from a
you
happy
haven't given
home.
me very many opportunities to try it though. We're
I
not
haven't
running
yet.
into roofs.
I was going to say, not yet.
Oh.
But that's why, like, to me, it's having those things where I'm like, okay, I can build. So the Dragon Heist storyline itself is laid out, and it's laid out very well. But adding to it, like being able to come up with the things like the Locket storyline, and being like, okay, well, you guys stole too much, so now I'm gonna be like, screw you, you're cursed. Here's your comeuppance. You kept on stealing after you got the code of law. You kept on going, so here you go. This is the universe going, I gave you the code of law and you still kept on stealing. Okay, that's it, you're grounded.
Stealing.
No. Hey,
But
hey. She has been able to sell those earrings multiple times.
and having
The
little
same
tidbits
guy.
like having little tidbits like that is so much fun to play with, where it's like, okay, we're 3 sessions in now at about, so 6 plus 6 is 12 plus another 18, 19. So we're at 19 hours into this. We're only in chapter 2 still have lots of game to play. And in the 19 hours that we've played, we have been able to make fun of this dwarven cop who keeps letting his earrings get stolen. And every time that it just randomly comes up, it's literally a fun little joke for the entire table that makes all of us laugh. We're like, yeah, hey, you know what? Thanks for giving Billy Bob over there his earrings back again. I heard you make quite the markup on it.
Billy Bob.
And it's just, and that was something that I didn't have planned. It's you guys went and did something, so I made up something on the fly, and I'm like, now it's just a running joke. When you guys get to like level 20 and we start making you into gods, you're just gonna still hear about this cop was just like, yep, 20 years later, I'm still getting them stolen. I now pay 10,000 per earring.
Exactly. Still gonna be getting robbed.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's still gonna be Zumlar going, yoink. These are for my girlfriend to resell to you. I'm back. And oh my God,
Start following around.
you guys, the way that my table is creative, like, so to compare it to Critical Role, Matthew Mercer is one of the top DMs you'll ever find. He's super inventive, super creative. He's who a lot of people compare themselves to. Absolutely love him. And he always makes a good point of a DM can only be as good as the players at their table.
Right.
So because he has such great players, he's such a great DM. And I completely agree with that. Because when you have players who want to go along for the ride and experience a story that is sometimes unhinged, like this example is going to be, you get such interesting evolutions that you're never expecting. Like, here I am expecting you guys just to leave some dead bodies on the road. Excuse me, not even think about it. And instead, I have the human fighter, Cyrus, who is played by Ethan, and the half-orc Kruk, played by BC, lifting the dead body, but being very careful in their phrasing to say, we do not touch the locket on his neck. And we carry the dead body through the town until we get to the shop, and then we bust in with that dead body. Where it's just like, you're carrying a dead guy through the entire city. Okay.
And you know what I liked about that part was Ethan was like, how much weight can I carry and whatnot. And Brendan had just been sitting back for a little while and just kind of like observing and whatnot. Yep. And then suddenly he's like, I'll help you.
He was so enthusiastic about it. I'll help you lift him. This is when you pipe up. Let's move the dead guy.
So, yeah. What is with our youngins in our group wanting to carry dead bodies everywhere? Like the decapitated orc, the
goblin, yes. Where they killed him and then he just kept on carrying around his body. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to use it. And then when Ethan used it...
And I'm going to throw it at the other guy to intimidate him.
It's just like, whoa, okay. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. Okay, sure, you do that. He's now pissed and shit himself, and now he's coming to attack you. Oh, why is he attacking me? Well, what do you mean, oh, you're surprised he's attacking you? You just threw his dead friend at him. What would you like him to do? Like, what the fuck?
Not any friend, but his dead friend.
Yeah, it's not like you're just throwing an unconscious person at him. You're like, he's still bleeding out, his head's off.
He dragged him down a hallway, through a room, into a corridor, like...
He's like, yeah, can I keep going that way? Sure. You can. Why?
Left a trail of blood. Anybody could have followed us.
Yeah.
And then wonders why.
He just knew there was another goblin and he was going to do it, right?
Like, it makes you wonder how long... Like, how long has he been holding on to that he literally carried it? Because you guys killed that guy, like, back in the second room, where he's like, all right, is he going to help us? No. I cut him in two. Like, I cut off his head. Okay, you successfully cut off his head because you just, like, obliterated what was left of his life. And then, okay, I'm going to take him and I'm going to carry him into the other room. What? And then I'm going to throw him into there.
Why?
Okay. What are you doing? I'm going to intimidate the other guy. He's busy right now. He's trying to kill Jeff.
He's busy trying to kill Zumlar.
Yeah. Is he not being distracted by this dead body? Not currently. Okay, well, I'm going to leave him there for right now. Fight ends. I pick up the dead body again. Why?
Yes, he did. He did pick it back up.
He kept throwing them everywhere. I'm like, got to the big boss fight. Okay, I throw the body down. Okay. I do the fight. Okay. Okay, they're all getting all the stuff in the room. I pick up the dead body again. How many times are you picking up this dead goblin's body? What is happening? All just to carry it through the sewers to get to his friend and launch it at him. Like,
Well, you know, if something works for you, keep going with it.
or something doesn't, ball bearings, then you keep trying it.
There was no good opportunity. I
500
didn't think there
ball
was a good
bearings.
opportunity yesterday. I didn't think there was a good opportunity.
I liked when Dana was like, I think it was Dana who said, "Oh yeah, here we're on the mountain. Let's throw some ball bearings."
Yeah. See who falls off.
Very first person, Dana.
It would have been.
Bye, Raywin. Bye.
It might have been Anne the way she was rolling.
Okay, that's true.
Yes.
That's, you make a very valid point there.
But yeah, I didn't see a good opportunity in this episode to, or this portion of the campaign to use them.
Well, and I was going to say back to
next time we play.
The comments on Critical Role and the crying and the full on stuff. Like, one of the things that I love about the story building in that and the connections that they get with the characters is that I love when you look at interviews with Travis Willingham, and he's talking about, like, he's Laura Bailey's husband, and they had played for years before, and he's like best friends with Matt, and he's like, "No, man, I'm never gonna do a romance. I'm never gonna. No, that's never gonna. Like, not a chance in
Clip came
hell."
on my TikTok.
And he literally, for the entire first campaign, not a thing. A gigantic portion of the second campaign for Mighty Nine, not a thing, until finally he's like, "Okay, I kiss her," and the entire team's like, "Oh, you did it! You did a romance!" And he's like, "Gosh, shut up! I flirted with my wife and I like her."
And I like her.
And it was just one of those things that I love seeing that stuff. And I mean, I'm fully with all of the other fans where I'm like, Laura Bailey just wants to romance all of her friends at the table because she has a romance in every single campaign. And when they are dedicated to any of their friendships, their romances, whatever they have in that, you can tell that they put all of their emotions into the character development and the story development, because you get all those scenes where they're crying and you can tell when they're hurt by it or when the character makes a decision that they don't like, and you can see it on their faces right then and there. Either they're crying, they're pissed off. In Mighty Nine, so the second campaign, I want to say like episode 18 or 20, somewhere in there. I'm now blanking on the actor's name, and I love him, but his character ends up getting killed in it. And it's just because there were a couple bad calls made by the characters in the game, to where his character is like, okay, he's a blood hunter. He went to go cast a spell, and when he does it, he takes damage. He took the exact amount to knock him unconscious. And then the amount of damage that Matthew did afterwards was enough to just completely KO the character. And he got up from that table so fast, like he grabbed all of his shit, grabbed it, and just hustled out. Didn't even stay for the end of the game. Like, he was gone. And it was one of those things of where you're like, that is how attached, like, you know, you have a good campaign going if you are so attached to the point that when your character dies, you are mad and heartbroken and upset. And then he doesn't come back until 2 episodes later when his new character gets introduced. And he's like, yeah, it was hard. It was hard. He's like, I was mad. I didn't, like, he was like, I couldn't even talk to Mercer for like the next day. Like, I needed time to mourn. And it's just good.
Yeah, like Jeff said, you end up getting that emotional attachment, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think my character is really fun right now in that it's a little bit of me. with a little bit of my stupidity that not everybody gets to see, right? I've kind of taken the filter off to play, right? I've taken the filter off, right? Because it's not me saying it, it's the character saying it, right?
Yep.
It's not me acting it, it's the character acting it.
Yep.
But this is probably as close to the true silliness of Jeff with the little bit of rage. Like, I was mad. I'm like, I can't believe that fucking guy hit me, right?
Yep.
Right? And the silliness with the ball bearings, like, let's see what happens. Like, a little chaos reigns, right? And the Yagra when she came into the bar, and I'm like, Yagra, right? Like the silliness of that, right? Like, taking a little bit of the filter off, right?
Well, you get to kind of like, to me, I see D&D as being something like, when people ask me, because there's always those people who come up and ask me, and they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you play D&D. Like, what's wrong with you? You're a nerd." I'm like, okay, number one, duh, yes, I'm a nerd. Number two, the thing for me with D&D is not only is it good storytelling, but you get to explore different aspects of yourself. Like, you're not only focusing on, okay, like, I mean, some people will focus, like, when they make a rogue, they're like, okay, here's the rogue, he's a lawful evil or a lawful good, this is what he does, and they see a script in their mind, and that's what it is. Whereas to me, it's, you get to explore different aspects of yourself that you otherwise wouldn't get to elaborate on or live through. Because where else are you going to go? So in Rain's case, like, she's one of my favorite characters that I've ever made. Love her to pieces. And she is fucking chaotic evil. Like, the things that she does, she has no qualms about shooting an arrow at a kid, threatening children, going after the bad guys. Like, she'll go and help little Timmy and then shove him down the well after she's killed the troll. Like, she's that kind of, she's got the chaos to her that I absolutely love. And it's all those decisions that you sometimes want to make, but you're like, society says I can't, and I don't look good in orange or stripes. So I will not make these choices. I will do what's adult and do that. Whereas you can make a bunch of different characters, and all the characters are essentially, in my case, like a different aspect of me that comes out in it, where it's like, okay, Wovu is more my lawful, like, she's play it by the rules, like, hey, this is how it's supposed to be, this is what we're supposed to do, and let's go that way. But then her counterpart is, you have Rain, it's like, let's set the orphanage on fire, but then, like, put all the bad guys inside of it and just kick the kids out. That sounds like a good idea to me. Let's do it.
Set the orphanage on fire.
Well, sometimes it works. You lure the bad guys in, tell the kids to get the hell out. Then they no longer have a home, but hey, there's no more bad guys.
Sorry, children, it's the end of the road. You're very dark, Taylor.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's getting dark in here. It's getting dark in here.
Yeah, you, like I said, you guys are getting probably an unfiltered version of Jeff with this character.
That's okay. We'll take the unfiltered version of Jeff.
Fuck yeah, we will. I love it.
I mean, if we have to take the high version of Sam or Anne.
The high version of Sam.
Oh, that's her and V's favorite pastime on the back deck, eh?
That's fantastic. How are you guys bonding? We're good. Don't worry, we're good.
Vaping.
You know what I could really use? Some Cheetos.
Cheetos.
They're the best.
But I'm saying, like, we all have our little quirks, our little idiosyncrasies. So, accepting the unfiltered version of you, Jeff, is fine, because we're accepting the version of Norm where he's going to overthink everything. We're accepting the version of me that's gonna roll nat ones all night, and you guys are gonna have to save my ass.
Very true.
like I said before, our little group of 7, because you don't count, hey, you're the DM.
Yep, I was gonna say, yep, I'm just the DM. So group of 6.
Our little group of 7 is such an eclectic mix of personalities. We blend well together like a fine smoothie.
You and your face. We blend together like a fine smoothie.
On that note.
On that note, yeah. It is, because I don't know if necessarily we would have pulled this group together out of any other circumstances, right? So
yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
And I think that the powers may be, whatever you think they are, brought us together and eliminated some for that reason. That the 7 of us just, we gel, like, you know, we all of our personalities like click into place, whereas if we had original cast members, if you will, it might not have been so bubbly.
I think that's the perfect way to kind of look at it, just because it's, like you said, we have a gigantic age range. This year it'll basically be from 18 to 60, and yet we all mesh so well together that it's
good
you
energy.
have no idea.
It's good
like
energy.
It's exactly like you said. Even last night, Ethan was excited when I told him, like, okay, during the summertime it'll probably be like we can do a combination of D&D and hanging out at the pool. And he was like, really? It's like, well, yeah, she's got a pool, she likes hanging out by it, no reason we can't do both. And he's like, yeah. It's nice, easy, simple stuff like that, and I think that's what brings all of it kind of so well together, is that it's an easy flow. There's no forcing any of it. Like, even with the one of these days, I'm going to remember to get the tickets for all of us for going to the Renaissance Fair over in Amherstburg in June, where we'll do that and then follow it with D&D. And it's like, there we go. It's a perfect kind of mix of everything.
So Danielle has always wanted to go to one of those, so definitely we'll need to be
okay, so 2 for you,
3
for you. Yeah, so 5. I'm assuming Anne. I'll grab Anne one anyway, so that'll be 6.
Because when is it? It's in June?
June 14th.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Chrysler's is going to be, if her line is going to be back up and running.
Or it could be down. Who even knows at this point?
Yeah.
So
I just don't want to see you have to eat a ticket type thing.
They're not expensive. They're like $17. So they're nothing bad.
Oh, Mrs. Vistaprint money. Get some of that Vistaprint money.
So I'm like, yeah, don't worry, I can earn enough to conclude my my geekiness and pay for it. What do you need a job for? Dice. I need dice.
So Danielle and I, this is our 25th wedding anniversary in June, and I think we are going to Ottawa in that week range.
Okay.
Around there. So let me just confirm up some times and dates and that before we go spending any money.
Sounds perfect to me. You guys let me know for sure, and I shall grab the tickets. I mean, worst case scenario, I have extras anyways, and it doesn't really matter. Like, they're not super pricey. It's not like they're $60 tickets. Like, the one over in the States is about $50 a ticket. So that one would be more like, yeah, we'll wait. Whereas this one's like, oh yeah, it's $16.49 or something like that. It's nothing huge. I'm like, okay, that's nice and price perfect.
Sounds good.
Those guys that I used to play D&D with, that I played those 2 or 3 sessions with, they made their own armor and weapons, and they used to go fight at the Renaissance fairs.
Oh,
like,
cool.
They used to they were pretty hardcore. I think they actually
They were
enjoyed
LARP.
that portion more
They were
than
LARPing.
Yep, live
yes,
action role
they were
playing.
LARPing. They actually were. They really. I think they enjoyed that part more than the actual.
Well, you get to hit each other. Look, I'm allowed to.
True, true
And
story.
with their double simmies. Ah!
I could see her
DNA.
flailing around with them. All right, well, I think this can bring our episode to a nice close. People know that we're going to have
Agree.
more.
Good stuff. Well, thank
Yes.
you, Jeff, for joining us and
Absolutely,
talking
it
our
was fun.
D&D. I'm sure you'll be
It was
back.
fun. We hope so.
Now that
Rock
we've,
on.
I was going to say, now that we figured out all the technical difficulties, you can come back.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good times.
Until
There was
May.
there was
Until
some
May
swearing in here.
Yeah, until May when Skype ceases to exist.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Then we'll have to relearn. Oh, God
No,
damn it.
we move over to Teams, but Norm said they use that at work, and he said it's the exact same as Skype, just it's Microsoft Teams.
I use Teams all the time.
Good. Then we'll know how to use it. We'll be fine.
Perfect.
Super
then.
similar. Except for the recording part. I don't know that. I don't record my meetings.
That's my
People can
job.
hold that stuff against you. You gotta be careful.
My job. Okie dokie. So, have a happy Sunday night. Because as you can tell by Tay's picture, it's dark now.
What are you talking about? You can see me.
And we will talk to y'all next week.
See you later, guys.
Peace out.